Eagles. Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to Week 6. Kicking off in the National Football League, our Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Football Giants tonight in MetLife Stadium up at North Jersey, not a New York game. Big Sills, how you doing on the pregame show, brother?
It's good, and then we're going to see what kind of football team gets off 16W. That's the exit to go into the Meadowlands and go into MetLife. How you doing? We'll find out, indeed. I'll tell you, Zander, prior to going on, we both were saying this. This makes this game a little bit interesting, some of the sidebar stories, with the injuries going in. This has got to be one of the most banged-up Eagle teams that we can remember in the last 4 or 5 years, right? I mean, it's got some great storylines heading into this game. I mean, look, on paper, the Eagles blow this team out, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's been an interesting week, and now heading in with these storylines with the injuries, I don't know, man. I mean, I still think a big Eagle win. I'm kind of tipping my hand here, but, dude, I mean, I can't wait to see how this thing plays out.
Yeah, man. What do you think of this lead story right now? Jaylen Carter, no confirmation yet either way. I'm looking right now, waiting for the inactives to come out. Eagles are supposed to put it out. I believe it's supposed to be out 90 minutes before a game. So is kickoff 8 tonight? I guess it would be 8:20. Is that what they're
It's like that. It's like that. Yeah, it's a little after.
So
I think it's either 8:15 or 8:20.
They're going to hold it for another 15 minutes. But Jalen Carter is walking on the field. There's a video of him up. He's not doing any workouts before the game. He was talking to his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. He talked to Howie. He was talking to Nick. No workout pre-game. That's not a great sign, is it, Big Sills?
No, especially when you're talking game time decision. So obviously what they're doing is they're toting them out there. And Zander, again, what you want to do with the New York Giants, you don't want to tip your hand. Make them have to prepare for you and make them have an opportunity to know that you're still a chance that they could play and that you still are going to be thinking about game planning him. So they're going to go right up until the last moment here. My assumption is, after what you just told me, that he will not play. And here's another one. I mean, Zander, at the end of the day, if it's hit or miss, he should play. If you need Jalen Carter and Landon Dickerson to beat this Giants team, you're not a Super Bowl team. You're not a super. Am I wrong? I mean,
no, I don't think you're wrong.
You're not. This team is not that. Look, I get it. Divisional game. I understand.
Real quick, though, you brought up something on your show today on the National Football Show from 2 to 6 every Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 Eastern, the best show on YouTube. You brought up the 22 loss to the Jets. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be the case every time you lose one of these games, but if you're talking about a game without Carter, a game where we're a little bit banged up, a game without Landon, and we do drop the game. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a good thing. I'm not going to sit here and justify it. We're going to break it down here in the postgame show as we will, but I'm not going to sound the alarm too bad if they aren't able to squeak it out today.
No, again, you've had the reason I brought that up was I'm like, didn't you guys have a crappy loss somewhere in the line the last couple of years?
Yeah.
The Eagles do not. Remember, Zander, last week I told you, and this is one of the things, man, the Eagles just don't lose bad games. And I mean by that is you don't lose the bad teams.
Yeah, that's true. We've gotten really good at that. I
can't remember the Jets were the last bad team. Maybe during that streak at the end when you lost to the Cardinals and the Seahawks, maybe you could throw, but that was more self-inflicted, wasn't it, with the coordinator changes and all that? Wouldn't we really look at that 23 season and go like this? That Jets loss was probably the last really big where you went like this. There's no reason for a team to lose to that Jets team. It was Zach Wilson.
Outside of the Falcons game last year, maybe
that was at the beginning of the year because you don't know what's going on at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Big Sal. You know what else is in as a factor here? And real quick, I'll just give you guys an update. Until we get it confirmed, we will keep you posted. But John Clark, who's at the game, works for NBC, put out Jalen Carter just left the field without ever trying to run on his heel. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, has been on the phone since then, just watching the situation. It didn't seem good. So no update yet, but it doesn't seem like Jalen Carter is going to play. Something I wanted to ask you, you played obviously at a very high level. I don't know. Did you play on a lot of turf when you played?
Yeah.
I know it was.
Yeah.
Was it an impact for you? Was it not as talked about back then? I mean, do you buy into some of the narratives that the turf is dangerous? I mean, because look, we're talking about a heel here with Jaylen Carter. I wonder if that's a factor.
I'm glad you brought this up. It's the first time you and I had a chance to talk about it. I had a conversation a couple of years ago with John Lynch when he was working at Fox and not the general manager of the 49ers. You know, this new turf that you have with all those black little
beads,
those beads that you have.
Beads, yep.
Right. I didn't play on those. I played on the old school AstroTurf.
Right.
I think this new turf is really one of the things that is causing these lower body extremities, heel injuries, shin splints. I think the toe injuries, some of the knee injuries, the calf injuries. I think this new turf, this is one of the reasons why the NFLPA, every time a hockey team, or excuse me, a soccer team comes in that plays in the Premier League, they put down the grass and real grass for them, and then they rip that up and put it in for the players. I still can't wrap my head around that, why the NFLPA doesn't really go nuts on that.
That bothers me more than
it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna put grass down for soccer players, and then you got professional athletes in here, $10 billion organizations. We're not gonna put grass down.
I'm spending $500 million on Patrick Mahomes, and I'm going to have synthetic turf on the field.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean,
the two biggest stars in New York sports or New York football in the last 10 years, both tore their ACL on that turf. Malik Neighbors this past couple weeks, and Saquon Barkley when he was a New York Giant. So it's definitely something to factor in. I do wonder if they're putting that in the Carter injury. We'll keep you guys posted on that. Big Cells, let's get into the game a little bit, man.
By the way, real quick, keep an eye on Rappaport and keep an eye on Schefter, because Drew Rosenhaus probably is there on the field, and he's probably going to reach out to those guys to let them know what the status is going to be. So those will be the first people, because I know Drew Rosenhaus's mentality, and that's exactly what he's probably going to do is call the family and tell them that Carter's not playing, and then he's going to contact these media guys when the Eagles give him time to be able to put that out there publicly. So just keep an eye on that those guys will have that report here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted on that. ZM, good point there. OBJ as well also got hurt on that turf. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Big Cells coming into this game, you said it at the start. If you and maybe I don't agree with you entirely, but I do agree with your premise. If you can't beat up on this team with or without Jaylen Carter, you're probably not one of the best teams in football. Coming in, you got Jaxson Dart, his third game as a starter in the NFL. You got no Malik Neighbors, no Sterling Shepard over there. They're throwing to not great receivers. Their offensive line is not the best. They did get back Andrew Thomas, is a good player. Just kind of your overall analysis, overall thought on this game. Eagles-Giants coming in. Eagles are the better team here, so.
I would, if I were Vic Fangio, I'd blitz the hell out of this kid, and I'll tell you why. There's no wide receivers on his football team. Make it chaotic for him. You have some of the best open field tacklers in the NFL. You want to hear a big game? I'm going to predict this with a big-time tackling game. You're going to have Cooper DeJean making a lot of open field tackles today, because this guy is going to be running around for his life. Something I said on the show earlier as well, and I'll say it here. Keep an eye on that Giants run game, because if Carter can't play, they are 13th, and that's got a lot to do with the quarterback being able to be mobile. He's a running gunner. So keep an eye on that. I mean, what you don't want to see here in this game is extended series and continuing to be able to move the sticks. Here's another team, Zander, that wants to get this game into the fourth quarter. If the Giants get this game into the fourth quarter and they're down a score, that is a massive win for them.
Yep.
It's a massive win.
Jaylen Carter's inactive.
Okay. Well, that now changes a lot in the dynamics. Okay.
So it's
I said to you earlier, remember, going into this game, Zander, the Eagles, look at the Eagles talent rosters here. Well, now, okay, here. How about this? Without Landon Dickerson and without Jalen Carter, you've brought that level down a little more, especially in key positions. Because in the interior in your offensive line, bro, do you really believe that you have the advantage over the New York Giants with Dexter Lawrence in there? I don't. Right. I just do not. And on the other side, do you really think that Brett Toth or whoever is going to stop Dexter Lawrence too? Bro,
No, there's no doubt. The Giants' biggest advantage in this game is the interior of their defensive
interior
line.
of the line.
Yep, interior of their line. There's no doubt about it. That's going to be a good matchup there. Obviously, Dexter Lawrence, one of the best nose tackles in football. And
Lawrence versus Cam Jurgens, I'll take Dexter any night.
Yeah, I'll take Dexter versus any three of those guys in there.
Yeah.
I'll take him against Cam. I'll take him against Tooth, and I'll you got me calling him Tooth. And I'll take him against Tyler Steen. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. You just brought up, Scatterbo and Jaxson Dart, kind of this rookie tandem. So that has kind of changed the running game there in New York. And now without Jaylen Carter, maybe they have an opportunity there. You're going to need big games tonight from Jordan Davis and from Moro Ojomo, obviously, to step up and with the loss of Jalen Carter.
And the backup, the kid Young.
Yeah, Byron Young.
Because he's good. And Gabe Hall.
Well, Gabe Hall got elevated. Yeah, I do think Byron Young will get significant snaps. Yeah. He's been kind of the guy getting the most amount of snaps after the top three.
That's right. But Hall's going to have to give them some time as well in this football game. So that is something to keep an eye on. Now, look, I just think they're so limited everywhere on that offense, man. But these are one of those games you roll in. The Eagles had a lot of noise last week too, right? It's a short work week. Let's not forget that. Those guys just came off a very tough loss with Denver. Boy, if the Giants had any kind of moment for them to win a game, it's right now. You catch the Eagles on a short work week. You got two of the best. These aren't just Pro Bowl guys. These are all pro type talented guys, like the best. Like could you make this argument? Landon Dickerson and Jaylen Carter are in the top three at their positions in the National Football League.
Yeah. I don't think Carter's played to that level this year, but he is. And
talent-wise.
Perspective. Yep. And
talent-wise,
yep.
Okay. These are dudes that are in the top three. So it's something to keep an eye on. Again, like I said, that run game, if I were Brian Dable, I would have Jaxson Dart do a lot of running and getting out. If they're going to win this football game, the Giants, they're going to have a big rushing game from him. Like I'm talking like nearly 100 yards rushing if they're going to win that game. And I'm talking from the quarterback alone.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Sills coming into this game, though, man, it is bleak for them on offense. But we'll talk about the Eagles offense real quick, Sills. With Landon Dickerson out, for a team that struggled a bit to find their offensive identity here early in the year, what's the approach for this Eagles offense tonight? What are you looking to see? Everybody's got their opinion about what the offense should be, including the players who met about it this week. What do you want to see this Eagles team do to put themselves on the track to kind of get back in and get back to a mode where you think, all right, this team can compete in the playoffs again?
I want to see if they can get to be a little bit more complete. And again, I didn't mind the first half against Denver. I really didn't. I mean, I saw some yardage and yaks with AJ. I saw some, DeVonta had a really good first half. The running back was getting going a little bit. He had a nice run in there, and the quarterback was spreading the ball around. If you did that in this game against this Giants team and you don't turn the ball over, Zander, I think you win this game handily. But do I think that that's going to go on? That's what I'm envisioning, but I don't believe it. I think they're going to remain and do what they have done to get to this record where they are. And Zander, it is going to take multiple losses for that coaching staff to move and pivot off of what they did. Remember what it did a year ago. They were 2-2 when they pivoted. Losing to the Broncos is not going to make them pivot. You lose to the Giants and you back it up with a loss against that Broncos team, bro, that may cause them to have to pivot and maybe make and have to do some balance here.
Yeah, no doubt, Sills. It's going to be a good one from that regard coming into this matchup. Saquon Barkley, Sills, I think that's still always a fun story here. I know it's a year removed now from the return to New York and everything, but he struggled early this year, Sills. He hasn't had a big productive game like we got used to seeing last year. It felt like every week Saquon ran for 100+ last year, even more than that in many cases. He hasn't even sniffed that yet this year, Big Sills. You expect him to maybe get going tonight, even without Landon Dickerson?
Once a Giant, always a Giant.
That Robustelli jersey back there.
Hey, once a Giant, always a Giant. Right now, he plays for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he loves playing with the Eagles. But he's a Giant, my friend, and he will always be a Giant.
Nah,
and he tells you that.
He's a Super Bowl champion and a
Okay.
He was a historical player. He said history in Eagle Green.
Okay.
He's an Eagle, Big
Okay,
Show.
so do you think when he goes into the Hall of Fame and he picks his team, is he going to retire an Eagle?
Eagle.
Or is he going to retire a Giant?
It. Eagle. 100% Eagle.
No way. He will retire a Giant.
Oh, that is a crazy take.
Okay.
That is a brutal
okay. We shall see. When
they
he retires.
They embarrassed him on that stupid show that they do.
Those guys aren't Giants.
They are not. He is not.
The GM and the head coach aren't Giants. He's a Giant.
What a crazy take that you
think. Okay.
Saquon Barkley sets NFL history in Eagle Green and wins a Super Bowl in Eagle Green. And you think he's going to go in as a New York Giant?
Roger Clemens was an absolutely incredible Boston Red Sox player. And then when he went to the New York Yankees, he retired a New York Yankee. Nobody remembers him as a New York
Yankees
Yankee.
Are a different beast.
They remember him as a Red Sox.
I know you got love for your uncle Robustelli back there, but the New York Giants are not the New York Yankees.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Once a Giant, always a Giant. You ever hear that line?
I'm calling it bullshit on that one.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
ask John McMullen that on the show tomorrow, who he thinks that Barkley will retire.
What do you think he does tonight in the game?
Man, I don't really you know what? After Landon not playing now, I think it's going to be a tough one for him tonight. I think something like maybe 20 carries and 65, 70 yards, somewhere in there. This is going to be tough, dude. I mean, I think the Giants have the advantage interior-wise. I really do. I think it's going to be tough. Now, maybe you start running over Mulata. I mean, how healthy is Lane going into this game? Is Lane? Yeah. I mean, will Lane finish the game?
I know he's had a couple where he hasn't missed. I've kind of gotten to a point on Lane where I just never think about him, but I have to start thinking about him more. You know what I mean? You know, he's been the best right tackle in football. You don't ever question whether they're going to have, you're going to have an issue, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Obviously,
I think Hurts is going to have to make some plays with his legs tonight.
I agree. You know what else he's going to have to do in this game? You got to get that ball out quick, man. This is a pass rush that will get after the quarterback. They got obviously the rookie Abdul Carter. They got Brian Burns, who's up to 5 sacks already this season, and they got Kayvon Thibodeau. So they got good players all across that defensive line. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have to get that ball out quick. So
plus the internal pressure of Dexter in the middle there. I know that he doesn't have sacks, but again, his numbers are kind of like what we talk about with Jordan Davis all the time. By the way, speaking of Jordan Davis, it has to be a big game tonight. No, I mean.
Well, no, has to play big tonight. I think even more with Jomo because with Jordan, I don't think his role changes much tonight, even without Carter, because he's locked into his role. I think Morrow is the guy that's going to have to step up and be more of that Jaylen Carter, create havoc on the defensive line. I think it's bigger for Morrow with Jomo tonight. Now, that doesn't mean Jordan doesn't need to step up. He certainly needs to make up for some of the loss of Jaylen Carter, but I think Morrow with Jomo needs to have a big game. And how about we talked all about this guy, Ty Robinson. He's got 5 snaps this year. Does he get any snaps tonight? Can he get going a little bit? Byron Young, you mentioned him. Vic Fangio liked him a lot in training camp. He's actually had a decent start. Can he do anything tonight? Well, it's going to take everybody on that defensive line because remember, the edge rushers on this team are not that great. They're not that great.
Ojulari and Uche have to show up tonight too in roles. I mean, would you not say that the most disappointing defensive football player this year so far
is out tonight too, man?
Who is?
The inactives are out. Calcaterra's out. John just put him up. Jaylen Carter, Landon Dickerson, Calcaterra, Mac McWilliams, and Xavier Gibson. So no issues there. So you lose 3 starters tonight. Now, Grant, starter in 12 personnel. I get it, not a starter all the time, but you lose him. You no Carter and no Dickerson. I mean, you've lost 3. Pretty integral pieces, to your team here in this game.
Boy, I'll tell you, you've now made this game interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, there's no way, that I think that the Giants are going to win this game. But you know what? This is an NFL divisional game, and you've got your best interior players out, Landon and Carter. That's pretty significant, dude.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. We got John McMullen joining us right now from MetLife Field, MetLife Stadium. Joins us here on the JAKIB pregame show. Johnny Mack, welcome in, brother. How you doing here on the JAKIB pregame show? We're about an hour and 15 from game time, J-Mac.
Yeah, doing well, doing better than the Eagles with Jaylen Carter being officially inactive for the game. So, popped up on the injury report late, and he will not be able to go with the heel injury. So, big loss, obviously, for the Eagles. And then you compound that with Landon Dickerson, who's already been ruled out on the offensive side of the football. Brett Toth will be starting at left guard. Gabe Hall was elevated from the practice squad to help sort of deal with that Jalen Carter absence, but Jalen Carter.
John, the impact that these guys not being in there now, I mean, now you talk about a puncher's chance now for the Giants going into this game. They always had that puncher's chance because it's a divisional game, but man, two interior guys. We're not talking about just Pro Bowl guys. We're talking about three of the best players at their respected positions in the NFL. So, I mean, the New York Giants, they got Dexter Lawrence in the middle. They're pretty good interior-wise. And on the other side, John, I know that the quarterback made some noise here, but they're 13th in running the ball. If they're able to get any kind of run game going, it should be a little more interesting what I thought would be a game that I thought that the Eagles would blow out.
Yeah, the Giants are pretty up against it from a skill position standpoint. Obviously, their best player, Malik Neighbors, tore his ACL. He's been out. So, Cam Scattaboo's been an impressive rookie at running back. They'll get Tyrone Tracy back, so that should help. Jaxson Dart, tremendous mobile quarterback as a rookie as well. So the gun rushing game, the shotgun rushing games in play for the Giants. But, this team is as limited as it gets offensively right now in the NFL. So, yeah, not having your best defensive player, certainly your most talented defensive player, is a big loss for the Eagles, but you really should. You never want to lose that for any amount of time. You can't afford to lose.
John, I don't know if you want to join by phone. Are you able to join by phone? John's cutting out again too much here at MetLife. See if I can get John up by phone. He's not hearing us well at all. The internet, man, we're having tough connection with internet.
Boy, I tell you, I'm going to send a letter to Roger Goodell, a harshly worded letter here, man.
Let me text John the link and see if he can join by phone.
I've never seen anything like it here, man. It doesn't matter what the stadium is.
Yeah, it drives me crazy, man. Drives me crazy when it goes in and out. I feel like it was better last year. I know it's never going to be perfect, but it is what it is. We'll get John. I'll see what his opinion is on some of the offensive stuff in this game. But there's no doubt, man, the two losses of these players, you could kind of hear John saying it there, is a big one. It's these are two big losses for this team. But Sills, I just don't. This Giants team, man, they just don't have a lot. Yeah, they're a very limited team. Jaxson Dart is. I don't know. Do you like him?
Yeah, I do. I saw him in the preseason a couple times, and especially, what a quarterback like him does, Zander. A quarterback like him can cover a lot of the deficiencies that you have on your team, because if you don't have a very good offensive line, he's mobile. If you don't have a lot of great wide receivers on your team, which they had Neighbors for a little bit for him, but obviously they lost him. My problem with the Giants was you drafted a quarterback in the first round, Zander, and your football team's not ready for him. Your O-line's in shambles. Your running game is kind of like spotty at best. Your defense, again, you haven't fixed your linebacking core, and your secondary is still spotty. This football team's not ready for a first-round pick quarterback. You draft a guy, you give him all that money, and you got a $2 offensive line? I mean, why did you just stick with a veteran quarterback in Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson probably give you a better chance to win, and they just want to do this to save their gigs. And to me, if I'm John Mara, the owner of the New York Giants, I turn and look at them and go, what are you doing here, man? I mean, it's early part of the season, and we're surrendering already and going into next April's draft. I think the Giants surrender too early. I really do. I would have kept Russell Wilson heading into this game. Russell Wilson gives you a chance to win tonight's game. Jaxson Dart does not.
Yeah. Yep. Let's bring John up. We got him by phone now. We'll see if we can hear him here. Johnny Mac, do we got you, brother?
Yeah.
There you go. Nice and crisp. I can hear you now, Johnny Mac.
Yeah, that's because I'm on 5G. Yeah, we're having a bad run of luck. Giants free Wi-Fi.
We are.
But anyway, I don't know. I could hear you guys pretty well, so obviously you couldn't hear me. But I don't know how much came across. But obviously, when you're talking about losing players like Jaylen Carter, Landon Dickerson, specifically though, what I was talking about the Giants' offense. Look, they're really limited. In a lot of ways, I think if they hadn't pulled the trigger and Russell Wilson was playing quarterback, maybe you would say, all right, if he has a big game like he had against Dallas earlier in the season, maybe they could get something going in this type of situation. But really, Jaxson Dart, they probably pulled the trigger a little bit too quickly because they Brian Daboll and Joe Shane need to have some hope for this long-suffering fan base. And, Russell Wilson as a veteran isn't providing that, but he's probably more capable of helping you win a game on a particular week at this stage. And it's a difficult decision to make. But, you never want to lose Jaylen Carter is what I was saying. But if there's any week you could probably afford not to have him out there, this is probably the week.
Yeah, no doubt. John, offensively with this team, man, obviously we've had all the conversation this year. They're having meetings and all sorts of different things to get going. What do you think they try and establish tonight? If you're Jalen, if you're Patullo, if you're AJ and Saquon, what's the kind of goal of tonight's game going up against what I think is an inferior opponent in the New York Giants?
Yeah. Well, I agree with that last part of it. Certainly, this is – it's never college football where you have these grandiose mismatches, but it doesn't look like with all the issues they have offensively that there's a lot of upside for the Giants offensively. So from the Eagles standpoint, though, I mean, the offense has a more difficult task in front of them than the defense, because the one thing the Giants do have is an impressive defensive front. They're really good on the edge with Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau. Dexter Lawrence is arguably the best nose tackle in football. And, he's looking to break out this season. And you have Brett Toth starting at left guard for the Eagles. Cam Jurgens admitting that he's not quite right after the offseason back surgery. So, a lot of issues there from the standpoint. So as far as, the offense, it might be a similar thing that it has been this season. It might be at times they're very good and at times they're very bad. I mean, at this stage, the sample size is getting large enough to think that maybe that's the reality of the Eagles offense. And I know people don't want to accept that. And certainly the Eagles don't want to accept that. But I just haven't seen the kind of consistency that enables you to think that maybe they can handle this talented Giants front consistently.
John, what do you think the overcorrection is tonight with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts and Kevin Patullo? Do you think we're going to see a massive overcorrection in the first quarter? They're going to do everything they can to get the ball out there to those wide receivers, and most notably the A.J. Brown?
No, I think that was the overcorrection last week. I think the overcorrection this week is they only ran it 9 times. So obviously Saquon being back in the house in MetLife Stadium, I think you're going to see more Saquon Barkley. So I think that's the overcorrection. Probably not an RPO game like last week was, so it'll be more traditional running game, inside zone, outside zone. and that enables you to get that number back up to where it should be, as opposed to last week where you had this crazy imbalance, 44 dropbacks versus 9 running plays. So I think the overcorrection comes towards the running game this week.
John, I just don't see it tonight with this Giants team. And I'm not going to sleep, but I want you to explain to me what could happen in this game where the Eagles could lose. I mean, I'm looking at a rookie quarterback on his 3rd start without his top 2 weapons, without, with a weak offensive line, going up against maybe the best defensive coordinator, probably the best defensive coordinator in football, in Vic Fangio. I don't want to get ahead of myself, John. They got to win the football game. But if the Giants were able to squeak out a win tonight somehow, what is the road to that victory, and what does that look like from an Eagles perspective?
I think the road is the running game for the Giants getting going a little bit with Cam Scatterboo and Tyrone Tracy, and converting, staying ahead of the sticks, converting on 3rd downs, time of possession game. Really have to shorten the game against the Eagles. That's how, when you're a significant underdog, that's what you're always looking to do. You're trying to get to the 4th quarter with a chance, and the bounce of the football goes the wrong way, and maybe you steal a game. I think that's sort of the path to victory, and certainly defensively is where it has to start for the Giants. They have to dominate defensively. They have to dominate with that pass rush, with that defensive front. And if they do that and turn it into a, 17-13 type game, because they're not going to score a lot of points. I just can't imagine that. But, any team in the NFL can get to that level. And if they play well defensively, they got to grind it out and steal the game in the 4th quarter.
Hey, John, I've noticed something over the last couple weeks about Cooper DeJean. I've seen him more in a pass rush situation, and that Vic's bringing him on pressure now. According to PFF, he's got 10 snaps where he's lined up as a rusher, and they brought him in as a rusher and trying to create some pressure. So, I mean, he's been in a pass rushing situation, according to PFF, 10 times so far. Do you think we'll see more of that? Or do you think that's just a one-of where he's just testing something out?
No, Vic always likes blitzing slot defenders. And a lot of times it's for the run more than even the pass. It's just about trying to get that penetration and upsetting the timing of different plays. If you look at each individual blitz, as Merrill Reese, the great Merrill Reese stops by as he's getting ready for the broadcast. Good
Make sure you tell him, hey, tell him I said hi. Tell my friend Merrill Reese hi.
Hey, Merrill. Dan Sileo says hi. Merrill just gave you his best.
Absolutely. Great call tonight.
So anyway, if you look at it individually, like you really haven't seen Cooper lining up on the edge and blitzing in a what people would think would be a traditional blitz, but Vic likes to blitz slot corners to impact the running game. But he can do it all. Cooper can do it all, man. Cooper is a football player. I always joke. I mean, that guy, I think he's the best tackling cornerback in football. He is the backup holder. Obviously, he's the best punt returner they have, and I wish they would just let him return punts. But they're being very cautious with that. I mean, that guy can do everything on a football field.
Hey, John, he's one of the best open field tacklers.
Oh, he's tremendous.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, and especially in this era because there's so few good tacklers in the secondary. It really stands out. But he is just an amazing football player. It really is.
No doubt, Johnny Mac. Coming into this game, what's the Fangio recipe to throw this rookie quarterback off his mark tonight, John?
Yeah, well, I said it last week, and people will jump up and say, "Well, Bo Nix beat Vic Fangio." I don't think Bo Nix looked very good, to be honest. And for the majority of the game, and the fourth quarter, he started sort of just saying, "All right, we're in trouble, so let me throw a couple back shoulders to the monster receiver and just kind of do things that way." So I think it kind of held out. Bo didn't play that well. I certainly don't think Jackson's going to play well tonight. And, it's not his fault. I don't think he's ready. I think if the Giants had a coach and a GM that were more entrenched and not worried about their jobs, he'd probably get more time to sit and learn behind the veteran. And I think he'd be better off long term. But again, they have to sell hope here because it's been such a long time that the Giants have been relevant. And it's a difficult situation for Jaxson Dart. But, he does have talent. And, sometimes you just throw somebody in the deep end of the pool and they start to swim and, maybe make some plays here and there. But if I'm a betting man, I'm not going to bet on that.
All right, John, the heads of the offense, the three heads of the offense, Barkley, AJ, and Hurts. It's been drama the entire week. Anything here, John, on it, or are we just going to blow that thing off and go, guess what, business as usual, and the on-the-field relationships, all that other stuff is just noise. And it's, as Nick Saban would say, poison.
I don't think the meeting is that big of a deal. I've kind of said I don't think it's positive. I don't think it's negative. I don't think it's going to matter at the end of the day. What I do think is that the Eagles did not handle the loss well. I mean, everybody loses in this league. It's not the end of the world,
right?
And they kind of. They were depressed in the locker room. It's like, it happens. And I do think that they have to handle that part of it a little bit better. Because guess what? They're going to lose again. Not tonight, but they're going to lose again somewhere down the road. But you want to be playing your best football in December and winning the playoffs in January. So, it's not the end of the world losing a close game to the Denver Broncos, but they won so much. I think they were sort of surprised by it and almost didn't know how to handle it. But, the meeting between those three players, I don't know what that's accomplishing other than maybe Saquon Barkley got Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown to put their differences aside, and that could potentially be positive, but I don't think it's going to have much impact, either negative or positive.
Who has the big game tonight, John, on the offense? Is it Saquon? Is it AJ? Is it DeVonta? Who has the big game tonight, John? Or maybe none of them, and it just looks as ugly as ugly.
Yeah, I'm going to say it looks as ugly as it normally looks.
Yeah. Hey, John, I said this. Hurts 145, 65 rushing. I said something like AJ's going to get like 6 catches for like 55 yards. This thing's going to look ugly tonight, but they're not going to turn the ball over and they're going to win.
Yeah, I think they're going to win pretty easily. So, I mean, but they're just not an aesthetic team, a high volume team, a statistical team. If they do get stats, it's probably going to be in the running game. I just think they play a different style of football than people are used to, and I kind of accepted it.
Good for the 31st offense in football.
Yeah. I've kind of, now they got to be better than that, but I think, the problem is the running game, because Saquon Barkley's going from over 5 yards a carry, having an historic season at 3.2 yards per carry. So the passing game is sort of the same, believe it or not. The running game is what's taken the nosedive, and they need to correct that. And I think it will, because I think Saquon will be fired up to stick it to the Giants again. And again, the pass, the one thing you can look at and say the New York Giants, they're really good, is on the defensive front. So, there's going to be times where Jalen's probably not comfortable in the pocket.
Well, he's got to get the ball out quick tonight then, right, John? I mean, that pass rush can come fast and furious.
Yeah, and that's not his strength. So, I mean, you're probably going to see 4 or 5 sacks or something like that. And that's going to.
Hey, John, what you're telling me is the crappier Hurts looks tonight, the better the blowout chances for the Eagles.
Well, no. Well, I get you're getting me in trouble with Eagles fans who think I hate Jalen Hurts. What he's going to do is he's going to convert on third down using his legs. He's going to be great in the red zone, and there's going to be a bunch of stuff that he does well. But for the people that are looking for him getting the ball out quickly, him throwing for 300 yards, him getting that's probably not going to happen.
Johnny Mac, who steps up on that D-line tonight without Jaylen Carter? Is it on Jordan? You think Morrow is a big game? Maybe we see the emergence of Byron Young or Gabe Hall. I don't know, Ty Robinson, the guy that got all this talk in the preseason after the draft. Who steps up tonight in the absence of Jaylen Carter?
Well, it's got to be Morrow and Jordan Davis. Gabe Hall is not going to give you a lot of snaps. Byron Young's actually banged up. Ty Robinson's not ready to play. So I mean, it's a big game for Jordan Davis and Moro Ojomo. And I wouldn't even they might pull the lever to have Zadarius Smith rushing inside tonight without Jaylen Carter. You might see that as well because he's got a long history of being able to do that. And that might be their answer in the pass rush. Moves Zadarius inside. So you might need a little bit more. If you're doing that, you might need a little bit more from Jalix Hunt or Azeez Ojulari outside to sort of make up for Jaylen Carter.
I'll ask you this, John. You said it the entire offseason here, and you were talking about the edges. And, I think sometimes the questions that have been asked to Vic in the scrum by you guys, I mean, the sacks were not even high a year ago, but how do you think they've done setting the edge on playing against the run? The team's averaging 130 yards surrendering on the run here, and that's where teams are getting back. I mean, Denver got back into the game because they were able to run the football too last week here. So, I mean, how do you think they've performed in setting the edge like Josh Sweat and Milton Williams did a year ago?
I think the bigger issue has been inside than outside. Okay. Now, Nolan Smith, when he was healthy, was tremendous at setting the edge, which is, he's such a physical player that plays into why he's getting hurt, I think, at his size. But I think the issue has been up the middle. And again, I say it all the time that Vic is willing to make that trade and give up a little bit more in the running game as long as he can keep the extra defender in pass coverage. Now, if that starts to change and 130 yards turns into 200 yards, then you'll see more 5-man fronts, even 6-man fronts. But as long as he keeps it around where it is now, he's fine with that. And again, I think if you talk about letting Denver back in the game, they gave up 21 points. I mean, typically in NFL defense, if they give up 21 points, especially at home, you've done your job and you should be out of there with a win. So, it was disappointing, but I think a lot of the faltering late had to do with being on the field so much because of all the 3 and outs. Over 70 defensive snaps. So they kind of wore down a little bit. I don't think it was necessarily that they're struggling against the run, other than it's part of baked into sort of Vic's current philosophy.
Johnny Mac, your final thoughts here on the game, brother. Your key to the game, and then your final prediction for Eagles-Giants Week 6 Thursday Night Football matchup.
Yeah, I think the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to have a pretty easy time of it. 28-13-ish. I think they're going to win the game. New York is so limited offensively. Maybe have a defensive touchdown, maybe a pick six on Jaxson Dart that makes the final score. But I still think you're going to have some trouble offensively because of that Giants front and also Dexter Lawrence. I'm sure they'll move Dexter Lawrence around and try to get him matched up on Brett Toth. So there could be some issues when it comes to consistency in the offensive. But you'll have these drives where the Eagles are tremendously efficient, and they will continue to be a frustrating team on the offensive side.
I got one more question. John, real quick. Nakobe Dean, do you think there'll be any kind of packages for him tonight? Will it just be spot play to put him in a situation, or again tonight, what are you expecting? 15 snaps, something like that?
I would take the under on 15. To be honest, I'm shocked he's playing in this game because it's a short week. You didn't practice at all this week. And remember, he practiced all last week, and he didn't play in the game. And then this week you have two walkthroughs. That's it. Thursday night game. Also, he's coming off a torn patellar tendon, and we're at MetLife Stadium. This is the surface. I joked I was doing a pregame hit on the field. I hurt my knee on the field. So I'm like, I'm stunned that they're playing him in this game. I really am. I hope nothing goes wrong, and I'm sure he'll play on special teams. But Vic had said when we talked to him on Tuesday, look, it's been a long time since he's played. Got hurt on January 12th. He didn't have a summer. It's going to be very limited to start, and this is the start of it. But the third part of it is they get a mini bye, so he could have gotten the extra time on the mini bye, practiced a full week next week, and come back in Minnesota, which doesn't have the terrible reputation for the field. I'm a little surprised the Eagles pulled that trigger.
Yeah, no doubt. Johnny Mac, good stuff. One more squeak in. Is Vic Fangio right now, John? Is he prepping for this game, or is he watching the Philadelphia Phillies?
It's funny. We were talking. Vic, you don't have to worry about Vic. Vic loves the Phillies, but he did not even watch the Phillies game when they were working hard on Monday nights. But he did leave his office door open so he could hear the cheers from Citizens Bank Park and would check in if there was a big roar or things like that. But he didn't watch the game at all. So he is focused. He is focused on his job.
Good stuff. Johnny Mac, thank you, brother. We'll talk to you in the halftime in the post-game show. All right, man?
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, John. There's Johnny Mac joining us here on the JAKIB Pregame show. A great pregame and a good hit from Johnny Mac. Uh-oh, Big Sills has his hand on his face. What are you doing there, Big Sills?
Well, I may have to change my loyalty to Cooper DeJean. Guy's carrying a purse now? Come on, dog. No. I mean.
What do you mean carrying a purse?
I just posted it. The Eagles just posted it. Him walking into MetLife.
Dude, you're not looking at another man's outfit, are you?
No, the Eagles posted something. I was looking to see if they were going to post anything more, and there it is. A lovely purse that my wife would wear. I don't know. I mean,
Where is this stupid thing? Where is this thing?
It's good. It's right there on the
and a jean outfit. I don't know what the hell that outfit is.
Dude, this guy's
it's one of those designer brands. So that's like a
Hollywood here, man. What is
$5,000 bag he's holding there?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him when he's done with it if I can buy it for my
so what is it?
You know?
He's carrying a $5,000 Fendi.
Really, I don't know what is up with that.
Dude, so the guy's carrying a $5,000 Fendi purse.
Sometimes with these dudes, it feels like the richer you get, the crappier their outfit.
Yeah,
the weird. Even Fletcher, I love Fletcher Cox, but do you remember what he wore to the Super Bowl that one year? He had that house on. I'm like, oh my god, what is that, dude? But hey, teach his own. They rock what they want to rock.
So, man.
Yeah, what'd you think of what J-Mac had to say about this game, man? I'll tell you what, this bleak for the Giants, but at the end of the day, the Eagles got to come out and handle business, and they should be able to move to 5-1 here.
Absolutely. I don't really see anything. Where are you moving the sticks? I mean, dude, if they had Russell Wilson in this game, I'd give him a puncher's shot to really be in the game. But, dude, them surrendering this fast, I mean, you have a shot to catch the Eagles. Short work week. You got banged up players everywhere. And you just have nothing in that offense to be able to compete. I don't know. Look, I got my number right now is 28-21. I got 28-21. Eagles winning this game. And get this, I'm even kind of looking at the 21 going, do I really think they could put 21 points up?
Yeah, I don't know where you're seeing that.
21 points. That's a little lofty for
I got two takeaways for the Eagles defense tonight. Minimum.
Okay.
Minimum. Jackson had 5. The Giants had – this is almost impossible to even fathom. They had 5 straight drives last week where they turned the ball over. 5 straight drives of turnovers last week.
Yeah, but okay, fair enough. But are we going to see the Jalen Hurts offense show up tonight?
I don't know. You heard John. I said, who's going to break out? He said, yeah, I'm going to take the nobody on that.
I'm going to take the nobody.
I'm going to take nobody. I'm going to stick with the ugly-ass offense.
This is good. Like, the uglier he plays, the better they look.
I don't know if that's true. But, hey, listen, it is what it is at this point. I'm with Mad Bird. Run the damn ball. We'll take some super chats here in a second. I want to thank everybody for being here, man. Hit that like button. We got a big Week 6 matchup, which means we'll have no Sunday football as far as the Eagles go. You guys will be able to consume some other NFL content if any of you guys do. We got a lot of fans in here, so
absolutely.
If it ain't Eagles, they ain't watching it.
That's right, man. I got you.
I'm a football fan. I love watching football no matter what.
Too.
So college slate as well.
I love football, man.
We're getting nicknames. Coop Purse, DeJean.
Cooper. Hey, man.
This guy said Cooper DePurse.
Look at this. Very sexy. Look at this thing here, man. That's a sexy guy.
Dude, it looks like a regular bag to me. It doesn't even look like a purse.
No, that's not. That's a purse, my friend. Trust me for a guy who buys them.
Cooper.
Okay. Coop purse.
All right, here we go. Let's go. My boy Dez. What's up, Dez the Hebrew? He says, Jalen needs to try and get the ball out quickly to neutralize the pass rush. If he holds the ball, I can see Jalen taking a few sacks. You're on the same page.
Hey, Dez the Jew. I haven't seen you in a while here, man. Thank you, man. Where's he been?
I've seen Dez the Jew. I've seen him.
All right, man. Way to go, Dez. I appreciate you, bro. You're awesome, man.
What do you think of his take there on Jalen getting the ball out quick?
Yeah, you got to limit the sacks, dude. He takes way too many sacks. Last week, again, 4 that were legit, 2 the run out of bounds, right? Guy's got to he's got to stop that, man. No doubt. I think we've started a new fad with Coopers.
Hey, this guy might be new to the channel. He says, wait, this is what y'all do over here?
Yes, it is. So this is not your dad's show.
Bro. We have fun on JAKIB Sports. We're not like the rest of the nerds. You can't talk about anything. We don't talk about it all. Here's my boy, Philly Dom. What's up, Philly Dom? Sills, with his injuries and performance so far this year, how much, if any, will this affect Carter's new contract?
So are you suggesting that Howie wouldn't use this in a negotiation? I think not. He will. This guy's going to use that going like this. Hey, man, you know what? We have character issues still a little bit. Remember, this is going to be like an arbitration meeting here. They're going to tell him what he doesn't do and what he's not doing right. Did you hear? How about the way Jason Cole said this about, he compared him to Warren Sapp. Now, I don't think he's that much of an asshat, but I mean, that's a pretty big indictment from a national guy. By the way, too, all of you tools out there who were saying Miata and the guy's driving a Mercedes.
I mean, Jason took that personally.
He texted me after, too, and I go, And I go to Zander. What do you think? I get a guy who drives Miata around on this thing
I
here?
don't give a shit what he drives. You can drive whatever you want. Dude. You drive like a 1994 Hummer. I don't judge you for it.
You know what I'm getting? I'm working on an Escalade.
Are you? That's such a big Sills mobile.
Yeah.
You got to get one of them.
On something like that. Yes.
I love that for you, Big Sills. Good stuff there. Cal says, Sills, stop checking out dudes.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. My man card would be revoked on that one.
Yeah. Conley's in the first thing
I was looking to see if anybody else and any other conversation was going on with Carter on the Eagles Twitter page, X account, and there he was sitting there holding his green purse like a fine chat.
I don't know. Here's Brian Pump. Cal, appreciate it, brother. Here's B Pump. He says, yeah, we definitely lose in this game. I don't trust this offense right now. No JC, 28-20 Giants. Book it. Dart kid is going to go crazy.
Zander, what happens? What happens if they lose tonight?
Back to the drawing board, man.
Back to the drawing board.
Well, what do you want me to do? The season's over, sell the team, trade the quarterback, trade the receiver. Yeah, back to the drawing board. You're missing two of your best interior offensive linemen. Your offense looks like a pile of dogs.
You can't beat the Giants without Carter.
The biggest problem in this team is what?
Injuries.
No, it's not.
What?
It's the dog shit $250 million offense that can't move the ball to save their life. And now John has reached a point in his analysis of the game that he says to me, you should stop expecting anything more than the pile of poop you're seeing.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
That thing will dude, I've been telling you, if you're thinking that thing's going to look like the greatest show on turf, it's the worst show. It's the worst offense on turf.
Dude,
it's not going to get better.
You pointed it out today. The only time this defense has struggled this year is when that offense can't move the football. It's not the defense was supposed to be the one that needed help early.
Yeah.
All offseason, Sills, what did you rag on?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't disagree with you. I thought they were going to be better than you thought, and it looks like I'm going to be right about that. But the defense.
The defense right now is still 24th.
Yeah, it's because the offense can't move the ball.
That's right. You know what would have happened? How about this, Zander? If you would have had the offense of a year ago, your defense is probably 5th in the NFL right now. Would you not agree with that? No 3 and outs. You're running the ball down people's throats. You're getting off the field. You got great field position. Your defense would be a top 5 defense right now if your offense was worth a shit. Instead, it's 31st. And that's why they're down there at 20th.
I don't care what anyone says about our record or our Super Bowl last year. I'm an Eagle fan. I don't want a 31st ranked offense in football. I'm sorry. I just don't.
You're going to have to date the ugliest chick offense in the NFL.
Never happened. I don't know.
And you're going to have to face that.
I don't know how to make that face. I've never had to make it in my life. Flexion says, Jacob is king. We run this. Yes, sir, Flex. Appreciate it, brother. Here's Brian Pump again. Uh-oh. I'm not going to lie, fellas. This might be an 0-3 night for the city. Sports gods, please save us.
Pump, man.
Brewers are tied. Or no, yeah, it's still 0-0. Bottom 5 right now.
Oh, Jesus. That favors Dodgers, man.
Yeah, it does.
Come on, man. No way.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oof.
Here's Flex again. The problem is Howie being cheap.
Cheapest defense in pro football resides in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and the most expensive offense in pro football resides in Philadelphia. So I don't think it's all about him being cheap. How about the offense produces, Flex? Because where Howie went cheap, they're performing. The defense, Flex, well, you're
right.
How you feeling about the defense? Are you really?
I feel okay.
I'm not that worried about the defense.
I feel okay.
Right. It's the offense that's getting all the money that's not producing and putting their defense in a tough spot. First half of the Rams game, offense sucked. Rams scored a lot of points. Second half, offense came alive. Rams couldn't score for crap. Same thing game versus the Buccaneers. First half, offense couldn't move the ball. Bucs put up a bunch of points. Or other way around. Same offense has to move the ball if the defense.
That's right. That's right.
3 and outs. You're leading the league in 3 and outs, man.
Absolutely.
You got guys on that defensive line who are dog tired. Here's Kimberly. She said, I swapped my purse with Coop for his jersey.
Oh, my God. Coop purse.
Wait, so is that all it took for you to get off the Coop bandwagon? You pulled
no. I'm just a little disappointed in the man purse there that he's rolling around with. No, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Boda, no, you're right. Held Broncos to 3 for 3 quarters. Yeah, and then the offense went shit, Boda, and 18 straight for the Packers ensued. You got to move the ball on offense. Big Sills, good pregame show, man. Your final thoughts kind of on the game tonight, maybe some of your keys that you're watching, and your final score prediction in this sucker.
Interesting ball game tonight. I just think the Eagles have too much talent, even without Landon and without Jaylen Carter. There's just too much, man. I think look, Bond and Cooper DeJean and Q. I mean, who's Q? I'm not even sure who Q is going to guard tonight.
Right.
I can't think they're so bad.
Wandale Robinson or Jalen Hyatt or what's that rookie's name? They got a rookie who has one career catch.
I mean,
what's his name?
There's like nobody on that football team, dude.
Bo Collins, one career catch, undrafted rookie.
And now the only way the Giants make this a fourth quarter game is if they can get the running game going and they can get some 3-and-outs on the Eagles early in this game. But dude, if they just play C+ football or C football, they're going to win this game by 2 scores, 2-3 scores in this game. I just don't see it. And again, I'm with you, man. I'm really wavering on that 21 points by the Giants, but I'm going to go 28-21, and I'm going to still hang what I said earlier on the program. And now here, I'm going to stick here, and I'm going to say that the Eagles win this game. Maybe they get a junk touchdown late, the Giants, and they dominate pretty much for 4 quarters, but I just don't see it, dude. It's a divisional game. That's the only reason I'm making this thing close.
Yeah, it could be interesting. I mean, the one way that the Giants can wreck this game is if that defensive line takes advantage of
right.
Cam Jurgens hurt, and Tyler Steen. That's where the Giants could get themselves in.
Agreed.
We'll see if they're able to do it. Big Sills, great show, my friend. We'll talk to you on the postgame show. All right, my man?
Got you, my friend. I'll see you. Everybody, please hit the like button. We'll see you on the postgame show.
Later, Big Sills. There's Big Sills joining us right here on JAKIB Sports on the pregame show. Appreciate everybody being here. Don't forget to hit that like button. All right, we're about, 50 minutes? What is kickoff tonight, guys? Is it 8:20? Is it 8:15? These Thursday games throw me off a little bit. Eagles game, let me see if they put the kickoff. 8:15 it says. Okay, so we got 8:15, and we will get the kickoff there. It'll be on what, Amazon Prime tonight? Is that where the game is? I believe you can use like Primecast. So I'll be using that. Appreciate everybody for being here. I'll take a couple comments from the great people of JAKIB Nation and see what you guys are thinking on the game tonight. Maybe some score predictions. Master Eagle, 42-17. So you got that offense exploding, Master Eagle. Is that correct? Or do you have us doing 5 takeaways from the Giants offense again and getting a pick 6 in there or 2? All right. I hate Thursday games. We all do, James. They're not my favorite, all right? I like watching football on Saturdays and Sundays. Are the Phillies doing anything? Let me turn up my TV and see if the Phillies are doing anything. Where are my glasses? I can't see the TV that far away. Let me see what we got here. 0-0, top of the 6th, 1 out, an 0-1 count to Bryce Harper. All right? They haven't done crap yet. Come on, Phillies. Come on, Phillies. Show Enough says, I don't know. I think it's a close game, but it shouldn't be. Yeah, unfortunately, I agree. Marquis says, please tell me the game is airing on Fox. I don't believe so, Marquis. I do not believe so. But you have to double check on your TV. It's Prime. Marquise, I would recommend spending the $15 a month. Where's my iPad? Right here. I would recommend spending the $15 a month, Marquise, on NFL Plus, my friend. All right. I'll be watching the game. You can load up the NFL app. All right. And you'll be able to watch the game. You can stream it through a TV or whatever. If you have a smart TV, you can download the NFL app. I've used this app for many times. So that's what I recommend if you don't want to go Amazon Prime. It's $15 a month, but hey, I watch a lot of football. So it is what it is. Angry Bear says it's Fox if you're local. Okay, so Marquise, if you're local, it'll be on Fox. All right. Amazon Prime, brother. I'm on both. Add that to the list of subscription that's hit the account, I got quite a few of them. Get it almost. I almost don't even feel them anymore. There's so many subscriptions that hit. I'm just numb to it. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate everybody. Hit the like button, man. Big game tonight. I think the Birds really got to step up. It's time to get out of this mode where we squeak by teams, where we don't play up to our potential, where we don't look like the dominant Philadelphia Eagles. I'm so done watching our team and being like, why does our offense look like the worst offense I've ever seen in my life? Is anybody else done with that? I'm done with that. Come on, Eagles. Come on, Jalen. Come on, Patullo. Come on, AJ. Come on, Saquon. Get it together. This is a perfect game to do it, man. This is a perfect game to do it. You got the crappy Giants. All right, they're depleted. They don't have weapons. They got a rookie quarterback out there who's playing his third game tonight versus Vic Fangio. They're not in a good spot. All right, so capitalize, take advantage of it, use it for the Eagles to find their rhythm and get back on track. All right, so appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Hit that like button. All right, if you need something to watch, hey, Marquise, if you can't get the game, the JAKIB Green Zone airs right here on JAKIB Sports. Krause will call the game. He'll give you the full play-by-play reaction and analysis of the football game as it airs in live, in real time, so you can at least stay up to date with the game if you're not able to stream it on Amazon or whatever you use. So watch that here on JAKIB Sports. On the halftime, we'll have the JAKIB Halftime Show. I'll have John McMullen join me at halftime, and we'll talk about the first half. And then the postgame show, the legendary JAKIB postgame show, where you guys will be able to check in, share your super chats, share your comments, and Sileo and I will break down the game, and John will join after the press conferences. So we'll talk to him tonight as well. And then you know what I love about week games and night games, because it's a Sunday, this applies to. We've been working all day. Then we go right into the game. And then we go right – I'm going to be live tonight. The game will probably end, 11 o'clock-ish, 11:30. I'll be live until probably 2:30-ish. Hit the hay, 3:34. Boom, right back up, 6:30, live at 8 a.m. on Birds 365. It all runs together. And you almost get drunk on football. You get delulu on football. And I've grown to love it. I really love it. So I appreciate all you guys. A lot of content coming on JAKIB Sports in the next 12, 15 hours. All right, so lock in 24 hours, really. Lock in, stay tuned, hit the like button, drop your comments as always, and I'll see you guys on the halftime show. Thank you, guys.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
EAGLES. Eagles.